Shark Lady. The true story of how Eugenie Clark became the ocean's most fearless scientist. Written by Jess Keating, illustrations by Marta Alvarez McGinnis. Shark Lady. The true story of how Eugenie Clark became the ocean's most fearless scientist. Written by Jess Keating, illustrations by Marta Alvarez McGinnis. It was Saturday, and Eugenie wanted to stay at the aquarium forever. She wanted to smell the damp, salty air and stare at the glittery rainbow of fish. She wanted to keep watching her favorite animals, the sharks. Eugenie pretended she was walking on the bottom of the sea. What would it be like to swim with her sharks? To breathe underwater with gills of her own? More than anything, she wanted to find out. When the summer came, Eugenie's mother took her to swim at the beach in Atlantic City. Stuffing sticky gum into her ears to keep the water out, Eugenie dove down, down, down. The salt stung her eyes, but she didn't want to miss a single fish. Constellations of sea stars speckled the pebbled sand. She imagined a silvery fin standing strong on her back, slicing through the ocean current. To others, sharks were ugly and scary, but Eugenie knew they were beautiful. As she glided through the cool water, she wished everyone could see the sharks through her eyes. But the sharks were only in her mind for now. Eugenie decided to learn everything she could about them. So she dove. This time, into books. Whale sharks, nurse sharks, tiger sharks, lemon sharks. Eugenie wanted to know all about them. She also joined the Queens County Aquarium Society as its youngest member. Eugenie's notebooks filled with sharks. They swam in her daydreams and on the margins of her pages. At home, Eugenie's mother surprised her with an aquarium of her own. A 15-gallon tank was much too small for sharks, but Eugenie saved her allowance to buy guppies, clownfish, and coral red snails. It felt as big as an ocean in her room. Their small apartment became an aquarium, a laboratory, and a sanctuary. As she grew older, many were still telling Eugenie what to do. Forget those sharks, be a secretary, be a housewife. Eugenie wanted to study zoology, but some of her professors thought women weren't smart enough to be scientists or brave enough to explore the oceans. And they said sharks were mindless monsters. Eugenie knew better. Her dream was as big as a whale shark. So again, Eugenie dove. She plunged into every course she could. Her laboratory became her home. From sunrise to sunset, she studied how fish grow, how they behave, and how they were put together, both inside and out. Despite all of the people who didn't believe in her, Eugenie was becoming one of the smartest students in her field. Even after she earned her degree, still many doubted her. But Eugenie's work was just beginning. Eager to make discoveries of her own, Eugenie finally dove into the open ocean. In the Red Sea, Eugenie collected hundreds of fish, including 3 new species that had not been discovered before. Red Sea endiver, Trichonitis niiki, Baird Xena pipefish, Cicocunicithis bentuviae, volcano triplefin, Helcogramma volcana. On a research mission exploring the Palau Islands, Eugenie was diving alone when she encountered her first ever wild shark. She wasn't afraid. Instead, she thought it was beautiful. In Isla Mujeres, she dispelled the myth that sharks must keep moving to stay alive when she swam through dark caves, still and silent, full of resting sharks. Eugenie's daring heart grew bolder with each dive. Soon they began to call her Shark Lady. Eugenie had proven she was smart enough to be a scientist and brave enough to explore the oceans. As her courage grew, she began to love and understand her beloved sharks more and more. But she never forgot many still believed that sharks were mindless killers. Because of their scary reputation, humans were hunting sharks all over the world. Eugenie knew that sharks weren't stupid or mean. She was determined to prove everyone wrong. Eugenie finished and fished through her mind and devised a brilliant experiment. She could train a shark the way a person trains a dog. Were sharks much smarter than anyone knew? They were. Eugenie was the first scientist in the world to train sharks, and even learned that they could remember their training for at least 2 months. Sharks were not mindless killers. Sharks were beautiful. Sharks were smart. They deserved to be studied, protected, and loved. And Eugenie's dream was now a dream come true. Shark bites. Dangerous monsters? No way! There are over 400 species of sharks, and of these, only about a dozen are known to be dangerous to humans, and encounters are extremely rare. The truth is, despite their fearsome reputations, humans are much more dangerous to sharks than they are to us. Every year, humans kill more than 100 million sharks. It's important to treat sharks with respect, but there is no need to fear them. Sleep tight? Eugenie once swam in a cave full of peaceful, resting sharks suspended in the water. But were they really sleeping? Sharks breathe by using their gills to extract oxygen from water. Eugenie noticed that the caves with sleeping sharks had more oxygen than usual. She believed that this extra oxygen would make it easier for motionless sharks to breathe, so they didn't need to swim to pass water over their gills. Before confirming this discovery, most believed that sharks had to keep moving to stay alive. No toothbrush here. Sharks have impressive teeth. Arranged in rows along their gums, these teeth are constantly being grown and moved forward in their mouths like a conveyor belt. Was Eugenie afraid of sharks because of their sharp teeth? No way! She was only bitten once in her life, and the encounter didn't happen underwater. Once on her way to a school visit with the mounted jaws of a tiger shark beside her in the car. Eugenie had stopped too quick at a red light. She reached across the seat to stop the jaws from tumbling forward, and the teeth chomped into her arm. Sneaky skin. Sharks can move extremely fast in the water, and the secret to their speed is their skin. Shark skin is made up of dermal denticles, which are more like teeth than fish scales. Some swimsuit designers have created swimsuits that mimic shark skin to help Olympians swim faster in the water. Big, small, and everything in between. There is an incredible variety of sharks. The smallest in the world is the dwarf lantern shark, at under 7 inches long. The world's largest, the whale shark, measures over 40 feet. Once, Eugenie was swimming with these giants in the Sea of Cortez. One swam very close to her, so close that she was able to grab hold of it. She let it carry her for a long time, until she finally let go, when she realized she was far away from her boat. Mermaid purses. Some sharks give birth to live young. Others, like the dogfish, produce unique egg sacs that sustain their young. These leathery sacs are known as mermaid's purses, and they provide the young shark embryo with a safe place to grow. Sometimes it's possible to find a mermaid's purse on the shore if you look carefully. Life at the top. Sharks are apex predators. This means they are at the top of their food chain in the ocean. Because of this, they play an important role in keeping food webs and prey populations in balance. Without sharks, ocean ecosystems would collapse. Sharks are old, very old. The first sharks appeared over 400 million years ago, and their descendants are still around today. They have survived 5 major extinction events, including one 65 million years ago that destroyed the dinosaurs. Eugenie Clark timeline. May 4th, 1922. Eugenie is born in New York. Her mother, Yumiko, was of Japanese descent. Her American father, Charles Clark, passed away before Eugenie was 2 years old. 1931. Eugenie visits the New York Aquarium at Battery Park and sees living sharks for the first time. Eugenie's mother buys her a 15-gallon aquarium as a Christmas present. 1942. Eugenie earns her Bachelor of Arts in Zoology from Hunter College. 1946. Eugenie earns her master's degree in zoology. 1950. Eugenie becomes Dr. Eugenie Clark, earning her doctorate in zoology and a scholarship to study fish in the Red Sea. 1953. Eugenie publishes her first book, Lady with a Spear. 1959. Eugenie discovers the belted sandfish, a species of fish that can change its sex as little as 10 seconds. Eugenie's groundbreaking work on lemon sharks is published. She is the first scientist to train sharks to push a target or ring a bell to receive food. 1968. Eugenie becomes a professor of zoology at the University of Maryland. Eugenie publishes a second book of her adventures called The Lady and the Sharks. 1969. Eugenie begins writing columns and articles for National Geographic magazine. Eugenie discovers the Moses sole produces toxins that repel sharks. 1972. 1973. Eugenie enters an underwater cave in the Yucatan Peninsula full of resting sharks. She is the first to study them. 1981. Eugenie hitches a ride on the back of a whale shark. 1983. Egypt's first national park, the Ras Mohammed National Park, is established, partly due to Eugenie's work in the area. She is a strong advocate for conservation and loves the beauty and diversity of the Red Sea. 1986. Eugenie dives deep on her first trip in the submersible. In her life, she will make over 70 submersible dives to explore the ocean. These trips take her up to 12,000 feet deep. 1999. Eugenie moves to Sarasota with her family and begins working at the Mote Marine Laboratory. 2004. Eugenie injures her ankle on a diving expedition and it is seen by doctors. They discover she has lung cancer and she is treated with chemotherapy. May 2014. Eugenie celebrates her 92nd birthday by scuba diving with a group of divers in Jordan and Israel. February 25th, 2015. Eugenie Clark passes away in her home in the company of her family. Author's note. I wanted to tell Eugenie Clark's story for several reasons. As a scientist, Eugenie lived an incredible life full of hard work, passion, and undying curiosity. Through her legacy, she stood up for sharks, and in the process, stood up for herself. People assumed that sharks were evil and dumb. They also assumed that little girls shouldn't dream of swimming with them. On both accounts, she proved them wrong. Eugenie's life emphasizes how we must never let the world tell us what we can and can't do. It especially can't tell us how brave we choose to be. I think this is a message important for young girls, boys, everyone to hear. And perhaps most importantly, as a member of the human race, I think Eugenie's belief in protecting Earth species, no matter how different they are from us, is needed now more than ever. There were many incredible tidbits about Eugenie's life that I wasn't able to include in this book. She was the first to develop shark repellent, derived from flatfish to protect divers. She went on more than 70 submersible dives, and even discovered a rare six-gilled shark, which she credits as her favorite species. She has written about her adventures in several books, and over 175 scientific journals and articles. She's been featured in over 50 television programs. Nicknamed the Shark Lady, Eugenie passed away at 92 on February 25, 2015, but her legacy lives on. The Mote Marine Laboratory, for which Eugenie acted as chair of scientific research, still exists. It's a place where young scientists can explore the oceans and discover Eugenie sharks and just maybe find some of their own. For more information about Eugenie and her work, you can visit moat.org online or read any of her numerous books. My personal favorite is A Lady with a Spear, where she recounts an early experience of diving underwater. This may read like science fiction or a dream. It isn't fiction, but it is a dream come true. I think she would be honored to inspire new dreams in young, curious minds today.